For this video, I found the settings of nearly every single pro controller player, and now I'm gonna show you what I found. Here I have listed basically 25 of the top controller players that I know of. This list has everyone from the huge names that everyone knows and loves like Miro, Reet, Day, but it also has some much less known players that are still insane like Squish and Elite Gold. For each of these 25 pro players, right over here, I plotted all of their settings, some of which they even try to keep secret, but if they're here, they either showed them or they got leaked somehow and I got a hold of them. And then I separated all the settings based on if they're linear or exponential. If you appreciate all the time and effort that I put into videos like this and you enjoy them, clicking that subscribe button is so appreciated. Now let's run through all the linear player settings first, which is going to include the majority of the 25 pro players, 68% of them to be exact. There's going to be players like Miro, Day, TK, Wolfies, Byla, so many great players. Basically, each color in any given category is a separate value. So it looks like for slide hold time, the value that's used most is 0.15. And then we move to the build and edit senses, which you can see these are literally all over the place. So many different senses. The look horizontal and look vertical sense is where this starts to get pretty interesting. 12 of the 17 pro linear players are using 43% on both look horizontal and look vertical. 3 more of them are using 42% on both of those. Spade is down here with a mixture of the two. And only 2 of the 17 pro linear players aren't using 42 or 43% on both their look sense. For boost, only 4 of the linear players. On ADS for linear, on both horizontal and vertical, it looks like the most popular sense is 10%, although we got everywhere from 6 all the way up to 16, so it's kind of a mix in there. 4 of the players use boost on ADS. Only 1 player uses the look damping time, which is of course scope. And then on dead zones, if you notice, they're literally all grayed out because dead zones are very dependent on your specific controller. These values really don't matter as much unless you come over here and look at the controller that each of them are using. However, these are just all the linear player settings. We got another 7 really good pro players down here that are all on exponential. And it's kind of interesting because their settings get really random. Basically, everyone's using different slide hold time. The build and edit sensitivities sort of stay between like 1.6 and maybe 1.9. But of course, there's always outliers like slapping on 2.2, 2.3. For look horizontal and look vertical, almost no one is using these same sense. Reets up here in 50 and 60%. CRRs down here in 57 and 54%. A lot of different look senses going on, but not a single one of them uses boost on their look sense, which is kind of interesting. For the exponential players' ADS sensitivities, again, like no one really uses the same. Majority are between 11 and 13%. No ADS turning boost except for the turning boost ramp time. No look damping time, all exponential players. And then again, dead zones just really don't matter. They're so dependent on your specific controller. So there is a whole lot of settings here, and it's probably kind of confusing on which player's settings you should copy. So that's why I put both the average and the medians of these settings for both linear and exponential. However, I found that by taking the averages of settings, it's kind of weird because it gives you like weird decimals for like boost that are honestly pretty bad. However, the medians just take the middlemost settings, which I think is a great place to base your settings off of. So that means the linear settings are going to look like this. The camera settings that literally every single pro player uses is pitch 0.1 with vibrations off. Build is 2.1, edit is 2.2. A little interesting that the median edit is just 0.1 higher than the median build. I typically prefer having these be the same, but it's not a bad thing to have edit a little bit higher. We have no surprises when it comes to the look sense because so many of those players are using 43%. So it only makes sense that the median is 43% on both horizontal and vertical with 0 boost. And on ADS, really no surprises either. 10% on both horizontal and vertical with again no boost. The look damping time is 0. These are linear settings. And then I actually didn't copy the dead zones because you're not supposed to. And even though I prefer linear, I know there's a ton of you out there that do prefer exponential. So the median settings from all the exponential pros are right here. The median look sense for the exponential players was 0.13. The camera settings are still all going to stay the same, pitch 0.1. The vibrations are still going to be off. For both build and edit, the medians were 1.8, so way lower than linear, which kind of makes sense on exponential, especially because the exponential look sense is going to be quite a bit higher at 50% on horizontal and 52% on vertical. But just like the linear, there are no boosts at all. ADS is actually somewhat similar to linear, with 12% being both horizontal and vertical ADS with no boost. The median look damping time is 0. I forgot to change this to exponential. Exponential players are cool, but right now I am definitely in my linear phase, so I personally am going to be switching back to the linear settings. And now that I've showed you all the secret settings, let's go see how they actually work in game. And honestly, I kind of just feel like playing some zone wars. That's what I'm doing. Honestly, right off the bat, these settings do feel pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, they're really similar to the settings I've been using for probably the past month. Let's go. Let's go. Speaking specifically of which part of these settings are the best, I don't really know that I could even tell. I feel like the look sense for like the non-ADS spray is definitely pretty good. But I mean, I can't sit here and say that the 80... Oh, no way I missed that shot right after I just talked it up. Bro, this guy has 144,000 points. What a psycho. Oh my, what a shot. What I like to say about these types of settings is that they're really good just like all around settings. No way I just missed that. But these types of settings don't necessarily have a part that's really good or really bad. All of it is like pretty good. Oh, what a shot. And speaking of that, ideally you want to be on these settings for a long time. I've said it before, but basically the best settings in the world are the ones that you stay on for a long time. Let's go. 3-1 right now. Essentially, your settings will never be great if you switch them a lot. I do want to know from you guys, though, whose settings should I try next? Or maybe even better yet, what kind of settings should I try next? Whoa, I did not mean to do that. These guys are teaming. What a bunch of weirdos. Let's go. I killed one already. That was my sole goal, was to kill the teamers. Let's go. I killed both the teamers. And I get the dub. Let's go. So some great settings. I'm pretty sure the exponential settings are going to be great as well. Obviously, these pro players know what they're talking about. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and if you want, you can use code Carter2K in the Fortnite item shop. Greatly appreciated. Hope to catch you in the next video.